Hey everybody, it's Dr. Rumsey, and today's lecture is about the first project in class, which is a rhetorical analysis. Now, some of you know what a rhetorical analysis is and have probably done one in another class. Myself, in my 131 class, for example, I assigned something called a commercial analysis, which essentially is the same thing. The idea of a rhetorical analysis is that you're looking at a completed, polished, final communication product, right? And you're opening it up like a box and looking at all the pieces and parts inside. You're analyzing how they went about creating that completed box, so to speak, what choices they made, the deliberate moves that they made in order to persuade you, the viewer, the client, the reader, what have you, to do something. Okay, so that's the idea, is that it's a little bit of the operation game. You're sort of opening up the complete package and taking out its parts. So one thing I want to point out right away is that you watched the MAPS lecture last week, and all of my assignment sheets, I actually use MAPS, but in reverse order. You'll notice down here is mode, audience, and then here's purpose and situation. I do it in reverse order because usually the thing that people want to know right up front are what are the due dates, right? So here you'll notice in fall 2020 that the rough drafts are due on the 24th of September, and the final version is due on October 1st. One thing to keep in mind about rough drafts is that I expect them to be complete and full rough drafts. I'm not okay with you having a lot of notes and some ideas, right? Like sometimes with rough drafts, people turn in kind of crap, let's be honest. But I really want to see you guys have complete drafts at that point in time because it enables you and your peers to actually talk with one another about the content, and you'll get better feedback. Okay, so the next thing you're going to notice is purpose. So I already kind of explained what a rhetorical analysis is. Remember, it's a complete package of a communication that you're taking apart to look at all its pieces. Here, what you're going to notice is that you're going to be analyzing those pieces in particular ways. So the way that you're going to do this is first you have to identify an organization or a business or a nonprofit that you want to know more about and to analyze because you're interested in them or you just find them interesting. In this case, I would not go with something local unless it's really a nationwide sort of business, simply because you need to find a lot of different kinds of material on that company. And if you pick something like Fort Wayne Animal Care and Control, you're only going to find a single website and maybe like newspaper articles and stuff like that, and that's just not enough. Instead, pick a national company. For the sake of explanation today, I'm going to talk about Coca-Cola. Okay, so let's say that I decided I wanted to analyze Coke. And one thing you're going to notice here is it's called an audit. I'm not in finances or something that baffle me, like I can do my bills and stuff, but like accounting, I don't. I mean, I'm even good at math, and accounting just baffles me, right? So, but when you do an audit, right, they go in and they dig through all the information in order to come out with a complete picture of how a business is doing. Okay, so the same thing is going for us, only we're looking at their rhetorical strategies. So you're going to gather 5 or more examples or artifacts of external communication from this organization. What does that mean? You're going to want to find, what did they say about themselves? What are the products that they're putting out there? What are the messages that they're putting out there? So for Coke, you might find that they have their website and statements they make on their website. You have particular products. Maybe you're just really into, I don't know, cherry Coke or something, right? There's going to be commercials about that. There's going to be the actual packaging itself and the graphics and the writing that are on a package. You're going to find maybe they have a COVID response statement, or given other events going on, maybe they have a statement on racial equality. So all of those things, each individual thing is going to be an artifact that communicates something from the organization. So once you gather at least 5 from a single organization, you're going to analyze them. And that's where you're going to take them apart. So last week you watched, this week, you just watched a kind of lame video, but basics about rhetoric and the three appeals: logos, pathos, and ethos. So you're going to take each one and you're going to analyze it. How do they put this argument together? What are their claims? How are they persuading their audience? Are they using logos? What about ethos? Do they have credibility as a company in this particular instance? And like if, say they have some statement on drug-free America, well, their history is that they used to be made with cocaine. So does that kind of change their ethos, right? So these are the sorts of things you're going to be asking yourself. And then after you've done this analysis, you're going to be writing a formal report about your findings. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways you can do a rhetorical analysis. For us, we are going to focus primarily on purpose, audience, and situation. Okay, those could be the headings that you use within your report, and then you could have other subheadings. You might need more headings than that, but you get the idea. Then there's a series of questions here that you can ask yourself to help you answer questions and help you write and actually analyze. You're not just summarizing, you're analyzing. Okay, that's one thing to keep in mind. You can describe what you see, that's a summary, but then you need to say, so what? Or you need to say, what is the effect that this has on the audience? Okay? So the next thing that you're going to see here is the audience. So obviously I'm one of your audiences. You're writing to me because I'm going to be evaluating how well you do at this task. The other thing is that you're going to be writing to your classmates, and I think one thing that could help you is if you were writing to your classmates you're envisioning educating them about the organization and the rhetorical strategies they use in order to persuade customers or clients or the public. Okay, remember again, too much summary, not good. Instead, you're going to say you're going to see things in a particular artifact, and you're going to say, here is what I see. The effect that these things have on the audience is something. Or it is apparently their intended audience for this could be this, so it is curious why they made this other decision. Okay, that's analysis. Summary is just, the Coke ad is red and white, right? That's kind of boring. So last but not least is mode. Here it means content and form. You're going to be writing a 3 to 5 page single space report. Okay, it's going to be standard font and rules for standard English apply. Below, I talk about what informal reports actually are. We will have some reading about that. We'll talk more about that in coming weeks. The idea here is that I'm wanting you to practice a particular type of professional writing, the sort of thing that you would do on the job when you're assigned a task and you're supposed to come back with some sort of deliverable. Remember, a deliverable in this class is just whatever the thing is that you're handing in. Okay, and so reports are something that are very different than what most of you have written before. Remember, this is not an essay. Okay, you're not going to be using a lot of flowery language. You're not going to, sometimes when you're writing essays, let's be honest, you kind of fluff up how you're saying things in order to get the word count. Well, here we're not as concerned about that. We want it to be crisp and clean and efficient prose. You're going to have images to back up what you're saying. You're going to have a claim that you make, and then you're going to support that claim with evidence from the artifacts, right? You're going to mix claim and details throughout along with images. And those are the things you're going to be, down here you can see you'll be evaluated on. And then you're going to finalize it by editing it really carefully. So those are the basics of the first assignment. I will explain more in detail about rhetorical analysis as the course develops. As always, if you have any questions, you can email me at rumseys@pfw.edu.